right, I got a surprise for everybody. Hey, I was working here in the shop and some neighbors stopped by down the road from where I live, a couple old hillbillies here, and they used to pull tractors years ago, and they said, don't put my face on the camera, so we're going to show their boots in this video. And George, he don't say a whole lot, and Peggy, she can't talk because she's swimming in Brush Creek one time, and cottonmouth, or I guess it was a moccasin, wasn't it? Caught in her water snake, bit her, and they had to have her tongue take out. So Peggy, she just kind of grunts a little bit, and she don't want to do any grunting. You better get off old George's leg. He's going to end up kicking the shit out of you there, cat. But anyway, we're going to talk a little tractor pulling here tonight. I'm going to put them on some video, but they don't want their face showed, so we're just showing their feet. Yeah, I was talking to old George here about tractor pulling. Old George pulled way back in years ago, and he pulled back. You can remember the old sleds where they pulled that steel slip down the road or down the track, and everybody just kind of stepped on it. Well, what was you pulling back in, George? Well, I'll turn the camera around and let you talk to George, and he'll tell you about the old time of tractor pulling. Okay, George, I won't show your face, I promise you, but I want to turn the camera around here and let people know I'm talking to somebody. But George, back in the day, what'd you pull back in the day? Well, I pulled a John Deere back then. I still got that old John Deere, and I grind corn with it with the old hammer mill. And old Peggy, she gets up there at that scoop shovel, and she scoops that corn, throws it in there, and the cobs just fly. Well, George, back in the day, whenever they was taking and pulling on the slip, how fast did you go? Well, I don't really know. We had the old ears cocked back on it, hell, some of them today, they pull 3-5 mile an hour down the track, but I really don't know how fast we was going. I turned the camera back around and I was talking to George a little bit, and I asked George, I said, where in the hell did you get that mud on your boots at? It ain't been raining around here. You know what he told me? He said, hell, it been in the damn hog pen. George, I didn't think there was any money in hogs. Yeah, let me tell you about them damn hogs. Them damn hogs today's pretty damn dirt cheap. You can sell them pretty damn dirt cheap off the farm, but you kind of get a special prize when you take and get it home. You can't get it in the damn locker. So you're going to have to do like we used to do. You're just going to have to get the front end loader out and hang that hog up and butcher it yourself and just make your own damn smokehouse. Okay, George, we're kind of getting off track here, talking about hogs going on here, but we're going to talk about tractor pulling back in the day. Back there when they pulled that slip down the track, the sled, it was just a big old metal plate with the nose curled up on it, Me and old George was talking a little bit before I turned the camera on about that. And I asked George, I said, how many feet did them people set apart in them lawn chairs? And I think 25 to 50 foot, he remembers. But he just told me a funny story. He said they used to have a pull here in our local town, and he said this old gal come out, or this concession stand came out, and they sold cotton candy and popcorn. He said every pull you went to, this big old gal, they called her Thunder Tammy, or her name was Tammy, and they called her Thunder, because she'd like to participate in the tractor pull. So sometimes she'd be sitting down at the front of the track. Sometimes she'd be sitting down at the end of the track. Now, George, what'd you tell me about every time she was sitting down at the end of the track? Well, if the old gal was sitting at the end of the track down there, every time you showed up, you always wonder at the front of the track, because if she was sitting at the end of the track, you better have her hammered down, because when you got down there, she was going to pretty well stick you. She stuck a lot of them good old pullers back then. I seen them old tractors front end come up there when old Thunder Tammy got on there, And we always wondered, she always carried her purse with her. We didn't know she had gold in there where she had bricks in there, but boy, one time she didn't have a purse, and we probably went 25 foot further, but boy, she could flat eat the popcorn and the cotton candy, I'll tell you that. Well, we standing here talking after that round table discussion on the tractor pulling back in the day, and George says, "What are you doing?" Well, I'm putting my tractor I've had for a while together, and I got another motor I'm going to stick on it, and I'm having trouble putting that drive shaft in right there with my fat fingers. I didn't tear a bunch of it apart. I figured I could get it out of there without taking a bunch of stuff out of it. So he said, "Well, Peggy going to get down there and put that in there for me." So, Peggy, darling, let me give you a hug. I ain't hugged you in years. You ain't had a good hugging from me in years. So anyway, you're going to get down there and put that drive shaft in for me, right? There ain't too many times, boys and girls, that you can get your neighbor lady to come up and put a drive shaft back in your tractor. I'm telling you, this old gal, she's a hard-working old gal. Look at them boots. She's got them old boots almost worn out for shoveling all that corn. And she wears them Levi jeans, and I'll tell you what, she's a working lady, and she's back there just getting it. So she put my drive shaft back in for me, and I will probably get some comments about being lazy, woman doing my work, but there she is, old Peggy, right there, an old tractor puller from way back. George, what do you think of her laying underneath my tractor?
Well, let me tell you, every time I see that woman laying underneath the tractor, it just makes my old heart flutter.
Where y'all pull at this weekend? Well, George, we're going to go to Carthage this weekend. We got 2-night pull over there in Carthage, so you just well drive over there.
Well, you know, I would, but I just can't see at night. I got some of them new glasses, so I'll take and think about it one of these days. So at least old Peggy got your drive shaft in for you, and that's a good thing. So, well, we better get out of here. And I know you said you'd give me some garden goodies, but I don't need no garden goodies. I got all kinds of garden goodies. So you have a nice day, and you tell them viewers that they better like and subscribe, because there might be more George and Peggy coming down the road.
Well, thank everybody for watching. That's all I got tonight. Old George and Peggy sure been wanting to be on one of my videos, but you know, they a little camera shy there. You know, when I pulled that camera out, they didn't want their face on camera. You know, George might have had a felony on him or something, making whiskey in that steel or something down the road, you know. He got one of them copper steels, you know, and we don't want to get old George in trouble, you know. But anyway, old Peggy, she's quite a woman, you know, and she gets old George all excited, you know, and gets that old heart a-pumping. And, you know, that's a good thing, you know, to have a woman like that, you know, be married to a woman that long, you know, and ranching and farming with you, you know. I don't blame him, you know. So old Peggy used to be a looker back in the day, you know, when I was just a kid. And I'll tell you what, she's a working machine. Well, I'm gonna get on out of here. If you haven't liked or subscribed to my channel, get your button, push that like button, or hit that subscribe button. You know, one of these days we might get enough viewers, you know, and I promised everybody, you know, one of these days we might be getting a check off of YouTube, you know, if we get enough subscribers. I'm going to put that money back towards them kids, you know, in that garden tractor class. So I'm going to promise you I'm going to do that. If we can just hit 1,000 subscribers or over 1,000 subscribers and I start getting a little check, I'm going to do some special stuff for them kids 12 and under. So we'll get out of here, and thanks for enjoying the episode of George and Peggy. See you later on some new dirt.